All right, what's up, guys? Mitch or Deity, and we're back with the next part of the guide. This is part 15. So, part 15, we're going to be clearing adventure, and I'm going to be going over some quick things, per usual. But sorry, this has been a little delayed. The Ancient Inheritance event that's coming out during the time making this guide is a little bit harder to finish everything with. Also, we have a couple other things going on. We have anniversary. I think we're going to be getting all of the info for that tonight, so I'll be making some videos over it tomorrow morning telling everybody what all we're getting, what I would suggest getting, and all of that. There's going to be probably a lot of content coming tomorrow, at least for my YouTube channel. So once you get to this part of the game, we just cleared what was the last thing we cleared? To be honest, we cleared story 3 and we started farming a little bit of story 4. We've gotten 8, and the last thing we cleared was getting furious from this. So if you have not finished this yet, I'm going to show you an Azimanak 13 team that you can use. I beat it on full auto with this team, so I will show that real quick. Then we're going to craft a couple pieces of gear, reforge 4 pieces of equipment, talk about all that, and then I'm going to show you the team for beating the end of chapter 4 and talk a little bit about if you are stuck on any bosses in chapter 4. So I will try to have the Zeo video up tomorrow. I'm going to be staying up all night tonight doing account work for people as well as running adventure on the side. So if you are curious on an A13 team, so you are going to be wanting to beat Azimanak Hunt 10 for the challenges, and you have to beat 10 or above 10 times. So with this, you want to do that, but if you can just go straight to 13, then this actually drops some pretty good sets. It has Unity set, Immunity set, and Rage set. Rage set is going to be what you use to one-shot characters. So one mistake a lot of people are going to make is seeing the Rage set. A lot of people are going to be talking about one-shotting hunts and everything. I would not personally farm this to try to get a one-shot team together very early. It's not really worth it. In terms of how much resources you have, if you're not going to be spending money on the game, having a rage set really doesn't benefit you at all. I went through the game for 2 years without one-shotting any hunts besides Banshee, but Banshee you could do without rage set if you have Biken. So it's not necessary in any way. It does take the amount of time it takes to farm every day off of you. So if you want to only play the game a small amount of time, you could start working toward a rage set for whatever you want to do. But overall, I would not suggest really trying to get a one-shot team set up right away, because I mean, it doesn't really serve much point if you don't have a lot of resources. If you're only going to be farming your daily resources every day, you finish that in like 30 minutes anyway. So if you want to change it down to 10 minutes, go ahead. Having a one-shot team, the most beneficial part of it is if you save your resources up for buff events. That is something we're going to be talking about tomorrow. We're likely going to have a buff event coming this weekend or next weekend. So I will tell you guys what the best things to farm for that are and give you some like guidance as to how to take full advantage of those buff events. But during those buff events, sometimes there is a there always is a hunt like drop material up, so you get an extra 50% crafting materials while you're farming hunts, which it makes it to where every stamina you spend, you get way more value out of it. So having a one-shot team during that, if you save a bunch of resources, is super beneficial because you could clear as many hunts as possible in one day, stock up a ton of crafting, and then go from there. So what the thing most people do when playing this game is they save up as much as they can. They save all their leaves and stuff throughout the month, and then during hunt buff, they go in and just use all of the resources during the hunt buff and then start saving again, and it's a repeated cycle of save up, burn it all, save up, burn it all. And they don't always farm hunt buff. Sometimes there is an AP buff, so where you can get catalysts and things easier, and usually they do each day is a different thing. And there's also rune buff. Rune buff is the thing we're going to try to take full advantage of. It's going to be the most important one for newer players because we need to start getting our specialty changes leveled up. So here is the team that I used for my Azimanak clearing. So if you need a team to clear up to Azimanak 13, this team worked. I did on full auto. You might lose the first time. I would suggest manualing it the first time you beat it, just so that if you want to farm it a little bit with this team, you can go to auto after. But this team is super easy. As you see, I beat it on full auto, and I have a +6 ring and a +12 sword. Had I leveled that up, it would have been much, much easier. But this is the free Spirit Tieria stats. These are the Tamarin stats, your Venture Raz stats here. And then we're going to be going down to Spectre Sneebers. So one thing with this will not be your normal Azimanak 13 farming team, but this is enough to beat it for the first time to get the crafting materials, the extra crafting materials from it, and then the reforged mats within that. So this is the team that you can use to beat it. That's all the stats that you should need to see. If you're following the guide, you'll have all those characters and have them leveled up quite a bit. So Next up, we're going to go ahead and finish these challenges. So I'm going to talk a little bit about whenever you craft your Azimanak things. In my opinion, the best thing you can craft is going to be chests to start with. So if you go down here, we have 400. So that's going to give us a 10 craft of chests. So let's go ahead and I'm going to do a 10 craft just of chests. And what we're going to be looking for is a unity piece or a rage piece. So here is a rage piece that has crit damage and speed and effectiveness. So for your rage gear, for your PvE heroes, you're not really looking for speed. You would still roll this piece as if it was any set. If it's red with speed, you always want to +6 it. If it goes speed, you go higher. But this piece, we're going to be looking and hope that it rolls all crit damage and effectiveness. If it does that, this will be a very solid piece. So in terms of rage set, you don't really care about your speed because the character you're going to be using it on is going to usually be the slowest in your team. And once it's their turn, you want all damage. All damage and some effectiveness does help for like Baiken or characters. Usually just Baiken, I guess. Other characters you don't really need any effectiveness on, but Cigarette could be used on this if you get a full rage set for Cigarette for your Wyvern team. But like I said, we were going to be wanting to look for unity pieces. If we did get a good unity piece that had speed, crit chance, crit damage, or something close to that, then we could pair that with a free ring that we get from beating Labyrinth. And so if you get a unity set piece that has speed, crit chance, crit damage, going to be very good for you. But we sadly did not, so I do not care about any of this gear. Even this piece, it has crit chance, HP, defense, but I'm not going to end up using it on anything. This, yeah, I wouldn't use it on anything. This one has crit damage, HP, so if you are desperate and trying to make a one-shot team, you can roll this if it rolls all into crit damage. Or if you have crit chance and it rolls all to crit chance, then it could end up being usable, but for our sake, let's go ahead and get rid of it. So that should have completed the challenge. If it didn't, then I just learned a lesson of not to do a 10 craft for that. So here's another piece that has 4 speed. We're going to check it for speed. If it doesn't roll speed, instantly get rid of it. But now we'll back out, see if that challenge did complete. I believe we should be up to like 30. Maybe it didn't complete. Oh, no, it did. Okay, so now we need to reforge 4 pieces of equipment. So with reforging equipment, you can, if you're not in the Discord already, there's a link down below. You can join the Discord if you want to be able to ask if a piece is worth reforging. But here's the thing with the game. You're going to continue to get resources. So if you get your reforge resources and you aren't sure whether you should reforge a piece or not, honestly, if you make a mistake and reforge a piece, it's fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. So don't get too bummed out again with gear. Gearing is hard. You're going to take a long time to learn it. I will make some better guides on it in the near future to try to teach a better guide than the last one. Just go over the basic mechanics. That'll probably be out within the next few days. Just the easiest, simple crafting guide, and I'll put that earlier in the new player guide so that people don't get confused as much right when they see the crafting portion where I crafted for like 2 hours. But that will be coming really soon. But biggest thing is don't be super stressed about your reforging. If you reforge something that isn't great, it's gonna be fine. So like this sword right here, I'm just gonna go and reforge it. It's gonna add more damage. If you look, has a lot of crit chances, actually a really good sword because we can change the effectiveness to crit damage, and this is gonna be a sword I can use in PvP or PvE. This helmet here, it has crit chance, health, crit damage, and I could change this effect res to defense %, so it's a perfect helmet for Shu. It's not really high gear score, but it is going to be fine. 90 gear score is actually not bad. Once I change this crit damage, it should still maintain that. If I had to change, defense, it should maintain that depending on the roll. But other than that, the only thing left is reforging this, but I'm going to go ahead and do these two. This gives my Shu a ton more HP, and I'm also going to show you change stones. So in a piece of gear like this, I will tell you substats. So flat substats you usually want to change, but if you have 2 flat substats, say for an HP scaling damage dealer, Shu is going to be using this. So Shu does benefit from HP, right? So you would think that you wouldn't want to change the HP and change the defense, but actually flat defense is the overall best flat stat you can get because it just has a higher percentage roll on basically all characters. So on this piece, it is safer to change to flat HP because flat HP is usually the worst roll you could possibly get. And a character like Shu has very high base HP, meaning that it's going to be better off to do that, to change that. So if we go in here, we are going to be getting these boxes. So whenever you want to use or get a specific kind of change stone, you're going to go to the set you want, and you're going to go to whichever change stone you want. So we need crit chance on our Shu. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab the crit chance from this, and that is what we're going to change it to. We also had the option to get the crit chance for defense % for the helmet, but we need crit chance more than anything, and the boot is going to be our best bet for that. So now we can go here, modify. I'm going to change the HP percent. We hope that we get 5%. So whenever you're using change stones like this, we got super lucky. That's amazing. So when you're using change stones, you can end up using 10 change stones, and then it could always all give you the lowest value, which is super annoying. But the thing is, if you were to roll a 4 here and use another change stone to try to get the max, then the highest or the lowest it can go is 4. It will never go lower than the change that you've already done, which is nice, but it's still, I think they should change it. If you use 2 or 3 change stones, it should automatically go up every single time you use one, at least, if not max. That is very annoying. So just know with change stones, if this rolled 3%, I could use 5 more and it could still be 3%. We just got unlucky 5 times in a row. So be cautious when using certain ones because you're going to end up needing a lot of crit chance changes. So, but there we go. There's our shoe, 77. We still have a bunch of upgrades we can still do. And we'll be getting her boosted up as much as possible over the next little bit. But now we are going to be looking at setting up our team for Zeo. So we are going to be going through chapter 4. This is where you guys should be. So go through chapter 4, just keep beating stages. If you get stuck on bosses, then you're going to have the option to where you can either put in a 2 tank, 1 Soul Weaver, 1 or Spectre Tenebria. You could do 2 Soul Weavers. You could do Tamarin, Angelica, or Tamarin with Angelic Montmorency, some kind of combo like that with Adventure Raz. Or your front, there's a bunch of options you can do. So if you need to put a 3 tank 1 damage dealer option in, you can. If I get stuck on any of these, I'll put them in the video tomorrow if there's any boss that I think is very, very hard. If you guys have any suggestions, if you're watching right now, if there's anything that you would like me to put in there, then I will try to cover it. This way I'll see it before I get to that point and I know what all to put in tomorrow's video. So the other thing you should be focusing on is Adin. So once you get Adin, every time you beat a chapter, you're going to want to complete all these challenges. You don't have to do it the moment you beat the chapter. You could beat a couple levels of the chapter and then go back and start clearing these, but you need to finish all of this. All of these things, it's very annoying, but Adin is one of the best characters in the game you could possibly get. She's better than most Moonlight 5 characters, and she is going to be pretty much your gateway opening into PvP. She's going to be great for your Guild War attacks. You can put her on your Guild War defense. There's so much you can do with her. So just know Adin is going to be basically a turning point for your account. It's going to make it to where you just have the ability to do so much more. So one thing with Adin is she starts as a grass character. So many of you have already gotten her. She's going to be a 6-star plus 15 character. So once you're completing the challenges, you're going to get these orbs that will level up her skills. So once you get those orbs, you'll be spending them to max out everything. But the nice thing is, once you do this once and 6-star her once and awaken her once, whenever you do the change later, then you don't have to worry about doing any of it again. And also, it is a specialty change character, but once you get the specialty change, it gives you the items that you need to where you don't have to go through the skill tree. So yes, Adin will be a light character, but you do not need to farm light runes for her. That's part of what makes getting her so good, is you do not have to put the farming in to get rid of get through the skill tree. So once you're done with that, once you're done with that, it's going to be great. But you are going to need to 6-star Adin, so just keep that in mind. Lastly, for this video, the last thing I'm going to go over is the team for beating Zeo. So the boss team. This is going to be your Zeo team, and you're going to be getting Bomb Model Kana for your last one. So I'm going to go ahead and just put these on for now. But you're going to want Mercedes as a 6-star, Adventure Raz as a 6-star, Hazel as a 6-star, and you need to finish her specialty change, and you're going to need the 6-star Kana. I know this sounds annoying, but for a newer player trying to beat this is going to be the only way we're able to beat it very easily, that all of us will have the option to get. So the way you get Bomb Model Kana is you come over here to the left. If you look, I clicked over on the character that is sitting here at the table. If you scroll down, this is going to be Bomb Model Kana. So you need to finish all of these challenges as you're going through chapter 4. So one thing that is really annoying, or actually, can you get her from chapter 3? I think you might get her from chapter 3, sorry. But yeah, once you clear chapter 3, you can go back and get her, but you need to eliminate 800 floating type machinery. So this part is the hardest part of it. If you click go, it says you cannot explore this region yet. So maybe it is going through chapter 4 is where you end up getting her. But either way, you just keep clearing chapter 4. Once you get so far, you'll be able to click go, and it'll take you to where you need to go. I will show tomorrow the exact stage for it. But I'm just not able to right now. I could look up a guide, but I didn't prep that before the video, so I apologize. But make sure that if you're to a point where you start working on Bomb Model Kana, you need to get her. So now the last thing I talked about was getting your specialty change done for Hazel. So once you clear all this, you're going to go in and then you're going to finish your specialty change. We'll do the trial battle for this video real quick because I want to talk a little bit about anniversary. So with anniversary coming up, we may get the ability to get the custom banner. A lot of people are hoping for, we had an event in the past which would make it to where you could get any ML5 in the game that you wanted besides like the newest 2 banners. I doubt that's going to come, but we could be hopeful. Maybe it will. But if that comes, I will make a guide over who you should pick from that. If we end up getting the triple unit banner, I'll make a guide on who I would suggest picking for your 3 characters as a newer player. And then anything else that comes, I'll be making videos on. So there might be multiple videos tomorrow, depending on how much they announce, if they announce anything. I'm pretty sure the anniversary is on the 31st. So with the anniversary being on 31st, this is the last chance they have to announce everything for it. So we'll see. But hopefully tonight's an exciting night and we'll have a ton of info coming tomorrow. So once you finish the trial battle, you go ahead and do that. The only annoying part is to clear hunt 150 times, but if you're to this point in the guide, you should have your new player bus worn out and you will be farming hunt in the background. So you see, I haven't lost a single hunt yet. my team is not a 50% win rate team. Oh, I don't, if you don't get what I'm knocking there, then it's all good. So now we are going to back out of this and go to her. Oh, we were just there. It put us where we needed to go. Sorry about that. Now we have to go back to it. So if you ever get this pack, it says NA, I can't buy it because I'm on my emulator, I guess. But if you ever get this pack, then it is going to be, it's pretty good value. I think this is like $5 or $10, and this one's like a little bit more. Either of them is great. Honestly, you get the least from it. You get these alone, the 300 greater runes. This is so much stamina value. These are some of the best value packs in the game, especially I would say the left side's the most value because it's cheaper, but this is great value for you. So if any of you are spenders, spend, but I don't personally do it. But if you spend however much this is, you get an extra rune thing. You can use this rune thing during a buff event where you get 4x runes. I think you get you get 3 times the runes. It goes up 100%. So you get 300% rune drops. So for every one that drops, you get 3, which is amazing. If you can do 2 hours of farming with that, you end up just getting a ton of runes. So now let's go ahead and go into Hazel's specialty tree though, and I will show you what you need to be doing for it. So going into it, we'll go to Awaken, and then we'll click Skill Tree. So whenever you're doing a skill tree, you see these lines here. You need to unlock the leftmost one of the line in order to reach the right one. And then there are going to be some that have exceptions that don't have any lines next to them. So, and then you have up here +3, +6. These unlock once you get to +3, but as you see, we would need to do this one in order to get this one. We need to do this one in order to get this one. So this one is when if a fire has a chance to dispel 2 debuffs. So we are going to be using a full fire team for Zeo, so we want to be grabbing these. And also, yes, you will want a 6-target Hazel. We will find other uses for her, do not worry. So as you see, now that this is +3, we could, or this one shows up, but since we didn't do this, we can't get it. So going down here, when using Urgent, if all heroes are fire elemental, recovers health of all allies by a certain amount. So we're going to boost this up now. And if you need to farm runes, you have the option of waiting until the extra rune day, or you can just go ahead and farm it, because if you're stuck on Zeo, this team will beat Zeo for you. And I'll show you the builds tomorrow for it though. So there are certain builds that we're going to be using. We're going to be taking gear off of our main characters in order to make our side characters for beating this the best we can, and then we'll move the gear back after. So when a girl in uniform that targets fire elemental has a chance to grant continuous healing. This could be very, very good. So we go and get that. I don't think I did this on my last account, but it is an option. Recovers health of the lowest ally by a certain amount. This can be really good. Increases effectiveness of all fire elemental heroes. That's okay. It's not really necessary, but the problem is this one just gives overall more attack. So every one of these that you do, the better off you're going to be. This one gives her more health. You're definitely going to want more health against the Zeo fight. You need to stay alive as much as possible. And then this increases her debuff effect chance, which isn't great, but this one is kind of decent. So if you do this one, it allows you to unlock the right one. But these skill enhancements here, or stat enhancements, are all really, really nice. So if you have the option to get them, I would get them. It'll just make the boss easier. So now coming over here, if we want this last one, we're going to have to put into this one. So I'm going to go ahead and skip this and hold on to my runes for now, and we'll see if we can beat the final boss with my tree like this. The biggest thing is we want to have the Dispel 2 debuffs. We want the Urgent Mission recovers health of all fire heroes, and then this one has a chance to grant continuous healing, because we might not beat it on the first try, So we want this one just in case this gives us the upper edge to beat it in the last one. But at plus 18, you should be fine from here. And then just make sure she's 6-starred and 6-star fully awakened. And then that's all you're going to have to do. Get Bomb Model Kana 6-star her. And then that is going to be the team for it. There's a reason we're using a specific team. If you're thinking, can I substitute this character out for X character? I'm going to tell you right now, I wouldn't bother trying to do that. Just follow what I'm saying here. You're going to have a much, much easier time. So now that we're to this part of the video, we have finished this completely. We can gain or claim all this stuff. I'm going to go ahead and claim it, and we're going to do some summons. So if you have made it this far in the video, you get to see quite a few. I have quite a few summons between everything. That gives a bunch of reforged materials, which is nice. I think we get a 5-star character ticket here, which is cool. And then we have a couple Moonlight summons. We have quite a bit we can get. So you do, when you claim this, I believe it auto pops. So that is a problem. If you claim this, you guys already probably all missed it now, but it auto starts running, I believe, and you have to start farming runes right away when you claim it. So make sure when you claim that, you are ready to farm runes. If you don't, it is what it is. I think that claimed that one too, but it's fine. So we got Glow Wings. This isn't a great artifact at all. I don't know anyone I would use it on personally. There's another 4-star elemental ticket, so we might end up getting a bunch of 5-stars from this point. There's a selection ticket chest. I think I'm going to pick grass units. Grass units tend to be the best overall. And then we got Lilibet. I do not like this character. She doesn't have really any purpose in the game right now until they buff her. That was unlucky, but then we have at least 3 Moonlight summons, almost 4. We're 1 away from having 4. All right, but let's go ahead and just start our summoning. But going into here, I'm going to trade in for 1 more of these. And I also, week reset, make sure you buy all this stuff again. If you have not bought this, you want to buy the max of this every single week. And once you start running out of silver transmit stones, we're going to be doing a big farm day period for unrecorded history again. And then we're going to be selling for penguins at that point. So once we sell for penguins, we're going to end up having a ton of these. So, and also Moonlight Landy leaves tomorrow. So if you want to have a last couple chances to get her, you can go to Moonlight Theater. You can farm unrecorded history and then try to sell for penguins. And then that way you can try to get Moonlight Landy before she goes. I'm going to try that before she leaves, but we'll probably won't get lucky, but you never know. So I didn't end up buying what I actually went into the menu for, of course. So there's 3 summons, and then here we go into here is going to be, there's a selection chest. I'm going to pick green. Green has a ton of characters that are all good. We can get Rowana, Sharoon, Imprint for Destino would be fine. There's a bunch of green characters that if we get a 5-star, it could be really, really nice for us. In terms of the other ones, blue is pretty good, and then red I would say is the worst right now, but they're all pretty solid. So let's go ahead and start with the blue summon. No 5-star it looked like. So Dominial. Next up we have our fire summon. No 5-star again. Alright, hopefully the 5-star luck stayed for our grass. I would love Rowana or Sharoon. So we have 2 smaller summons and then 2 bigger summons. I got those from clearing story, I'm gonna guess. I didn't know I had them, so I'm gonna guess 1 came from story, 1 came from guild. There it is, there's a 5-star. Please Rowana or Sharoon. Rowana or Sharoon. Asaria would be cool too. Yulha? Mort. Okay, I would rather have got Yulha. So that's a new character, that's fine. Mort's cool, give me another 5. Yes, okay. Asaria. I don't really want Asaria, actually. Ooh, okay, it could be Sharoon or Rowana. Yes, we got Rowana, huge. So this is why I think grass is the best for new players, because there are just more grass characters that could be used everywhere. And you have the chance to get Asaria, which a lot of people are like debating on my guide, why start with Destino when you get Asaria, but I keep trying to explain that Asaria isn't needed, but it is what it is. So now we're going to be going in and doing our Moonlight summon. So we're 9 away from Pity. Pity will give you at least a 4-star or a 5-star. I think there's a 15% chance for 5-star. But let's see if we can, there's a 4-star at least. So in terms of 4-stars, ooh, this could be Acades. It's Angelica. So this is good for one-shot team setups. She has a couple uses and she's a pretty good character. I'm actually not sad with that. All right, Spark. No. Penelope, not very good. She has 3-star base sets. If she gets a specialty change later, she'll be pretty good. All right, last summon. Another 3-star unless it sparks, imagine. Nope. Okay. So we got a couple new characters. That's fine. The Angelica was the best out of all of it. We almost have enough for another one, and we're sitting at 506 bookmarks. So depending on how the summon event goes, or if there is a summon event for anniversary announced, that'll be big. But that's all I got for this video. If you stayed till the end, thank you so much. It helps me a ton. If you got any questions, comment down below. It's been Mitch or Deity, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.